Yeah. Game chat on the mic, Friday night light. Line from the board, Isaac taking flight. Question of the day, what's it gonna be? Guests on the show, come and take a seat. Game chat crew, feel the rhythm flow. Talking board games, all systems go. Pick 5 games, what's your top choice? Hear the people shout, raise up your voice. Interview time, guest in the chair. Sharing stories, feels like we're there. Game chat crew, feel the rhythm flow. Talking board games, all systems go. Game chat crew, feel the rhythm flow. Talking board games, all systems go. Interview time, guest in the chair. Sharing stories, feels like we're there. Game chat crew, feel the rhythm flow. Talking board games, all systems go. Game chat crew, feel the rhythm flow. Talking board games, all systems go. Game chat crew, feel the rhythm flow. Talking board games, all systems go. Pick 5 games.
What is up, Isaac? How are you, sir?
Long time no see.
I know, really. It's been 24 hours.
I know. What a long 24 hours.
I know. Not spending enough time with you in the past 24 hours. That's sad. We actually have a guest that we just recently hung out with all weekend long. We've got our guest, Andrew Stiles. Andrew, how are you doing?
Hello, guys. How are you guys doing?
I'm doing
Good
good.
evening,
You
sir.
sound very good.
You guys sound kind of rested. I feel like I'm still burnt out, but that's
Oh,
all
Oh
right.
really?
man, I just got done with my 12-hour day. I'm
You're doing
no,
amazing.
yeah, it's a full day back to work.
Yeah. I'm sorry I was late. I was running super late. I've been filming a how to play video for a game, and I had 3 clips that were kind of wonky, and so I just had to refilm all those just like 1 second ago. So
Fair enough. That happens.
yeah. Yep. Anyway, so let's get into this game chat. I'm gonna pull up our notes.
Yep. Yep.
Andrew, how would people know you? We're gonna get to a section where we talk all about you and just what you do in the industry, but how would people know about Andrew Stiles?
Well, I'm most known for my game Wine Cellar. That's my first ever game design by 25th Century Games. It kind of got announced last year. It funded on Kickstarter, over, I think it's 1,500 backers. Did pretty well. And it'll be delivering sometime in this summer. So I guess in like April, May, June, something like that. Hopefully in time for Origins, where you're able to buy it there, and then hopefully the store soon after that. So most people know me from that. I also have 6 other signed games in the pipeline. So we got more things coming soon. And then, of course, I also do a podcast with my co-host, Joshua Bauman. We do the Tabletop Submarine. So we do that to kind of get insider stories for people in the industry.
That's awesome. So we'll talk more about you in just a little bit, but tonight we're talking about TantrumCon. All 3 of us actually just came back from TantrumCon. You've got the shirt to prove it. We just all came back from TantrumCon, and it was a pretty amazing weekend. We're also going to be talking about some anticipated games of 2025. I'm hoping to get our most anticipated games list out sometime this week. But yeah, so that's what to look forward to in the show. And if you're in the chat, we want you to chat with us. Be sure to drop us a line, and we'll throw you a shout out.
Few in there already, sir.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's my co-host, Josh. He popped in.
There we go, Josh. Yeah, we got 2 Joshes joining the show. Is this illegal? Is this legal to have 2 Joshes watching at once?
We'll make it work. We'll make it work.
Anyway, for our first question, we always like to open the show with a question that has nothing to do with our topic. Do you have a board game related goal for 2025?
Yeah, so my goal this year is to acquire a ton of games, but I want to have a net zero. So like I'm trying to like games out to get games in. That's my game,
Okay.
right? Like I don't want to create less shelf space. I want to keep it at an even keel. I feel like my collection's at a good point where if I'm
Yeah.
going to get a game now, I have to think about what I'm going to take out in order to get it in.
That makes sense. Are you pretty meticulous about this one in, one out type of situation, or are you just kind of like adjusting as you go?
I'm pretty much willing to clear out a couple of things and give myself room, and then I can fill that room, right? Like,
Got it.
and
Space.
I'm going to
Your own
give myself
space.
a little grace. If I need to hold on to a thing for a little while before I actually get rid of another one, or I'll pull something out of the shelf and I'll put it next to my computer, and I'm like, okay, that one I'm going to sell or give away or donate or whatever, and I'll clear it out that way. But yeah, I'm gonna try to be a little more conscious about not growing the collection too far up.
That's right. Okay. I've got not a similar, goal, but I think that I need to let go of some of those games this year that are just kind of hanging on.
Yeah.
I sold a couple of those games. There are a couple games that I bought that I didn't even enjoy it after I bought it. And I held on to it because I spent money on it, or I said, maybe I'll get the right people around it one day. And I think this year is the year that I say, okay, this one just needs to leave,
Yeah.
So I let go of some games at Dice and Diversions at the flea market 2 weekends ago, and I think I'll be doing that more often. So
Yeah, my
Yeah,
thought is if it's
Origin.
not getting played by me, it should be played by somebody. Somebody should be
Sure.
getting the joy out of it, right?
Yeah, and it's a hard one. I just sold Mississippi Queen. I had the 2019 reprint of 2018 reprint of Mississippi Queen. I played it from time to time, but I think I made myself play it because I didn't enjoy it as much as Quest for El Dorado. That is also a similar racing game. I don't know. And I finally said, okay, I need to get rid of this. I don't enjoy it as much as these other games.
Mm-hmm.
I need to let it go now. So
It's fair. Yeah, I sell a lot at Origins every year because that's my drive to con. Gen Con drove to also, but that just feels like a mess to sell things at.
yeah,
So try and clean the shelves, try and clear things out. I'd like to actually know how many I have in my collection. And as reviewers, there's so much flux. Like,
Yeah.
my buddy Jason's got it down very well, very tight, and knows what he has, knows the numbers, all the expansions. Like I move things in and out. I give games to friends. Like, oh, I didn't really love this that much, but you'll probably love it. Here, just take it. Do you want it back? No, I hope I never see it again. But I guess if you don't like it, give it back and I'll find somebody else or sell it. And so, like, there are a lot of things that I just recently, a guy I work with brought me a bag of games that I gave him in the middle of the pandemic that I had completely forgotten about.
oh yeah,
One of them was Karuba, and I love Karuba. I just couldn't, for the life of me, remember where I put it or what happened to
interesting.
it. So that's kind of where I'm at with some of these, and we're moving to a bigger house where I'm gonna have more space for more games. But I kind of want to get a handle of like, what do I have, how much do I have, and then kind of look at, like you said, what stays, what doesn't, what am I just holding on to that I don't love, but I do love enough to keep it in a collection. Like I'd never get rid of Carcassonne, even though we don't play it a ton. It's still a classic.
Yeah,
it's still one
still
I
a
love to introduce to people.
Yeah,
And
I
show
still
them.
have Catan because every couple of years we kind of bust that out with a person who's never played it.
Yeah, and it's I mean, it's what got me into the hobby too. So it's hard to just let that go.
Yeah.
Right.
Talking about knowing that number of games that you have, it's so funny because some people will walk in our house and they'll be like, you have 1,000 games. I'm like, not even close. And then the
Right.
kids will always debate with me. They're like, we have 500 games. I'm like, no, it's 400 and something. And I don't know that number. So Josh says I'm over 300, don't know the full number. So
Yeah.
and Randy said that same spot as Andrew, has set number of shelves, and if I buy something, I got to get rid of something.
It's a good way to do it.
Yep. So what's our first real question for tonight?
Yeah, so we're talking with Andrew as we all are just getting back from TantrumCon 2025, and this was the 8th year for TantrumCon. And Ryan's first question right here was, what was this your first TantrumCon? And if not, how many of these have you been to?
This is my second. I was invited last year from the Tabletop Submarine as a media person. And this year I decided to not ask for that because I wanted to support them. I think they do an amazing job, and I'm happy to pay the badge price to keep them up and running and moving forward. And I felt like the value is definitely there. I really got full value. They did a great job of setting up the venue. Even the hotel rates were very reasonable as far as that goes, and a pretty nice hotel. And I just wanted to make sure I was showing some support, and happy to do that little thing. And I got more than enough value out of it.
It was a fun weekend. So
number 2 for you, 2 in a row, right? You said you did last year and this year.
We did 2019 was our first TantrumCon, and then we did 2020, which ended up being the only board game convention that year, and then the online version the next year, and then subsequent every year since. So actually, it's funny. This year was actually going to be my first one that I miss since 2019. But we were asked to do the Bino tournament. We had Dice and Diversions in Atlanta the weekend before, and I was like, I can't afford 2 cons in a row, and I think I'll be pretty exhausted and spend. I know that my family will be like super spent from that, but I'm glad we went. And actually, Erin was super glad she went. She got to meet Susan, and she got to hang out with Jason and Becky, and Jacob was there. We had just a super fun weekend, and so I'm very glad that we said, we'll buckle down with our finances and make sure we can make it this year. So
yeah, we had a
I
great
think one
time.
of the strengths of it, though, is it's the first real one of the year. Like, I feel like that January is kind of a really nice way to get the year off moving right.
Yep.
So our next question gets a little bit into the I didn't answer it for me. Sorry.
Yeah, you didn't answer it for you.
Sorry, my daughter walked in the house. She doesn't live here. I'm like, do you need something? Or she's just looking for a package. Since she moved out, I'm not used to seeing her coming in on the Ring camera. So for me, this was my third TantrumCon. And the first time that my wife came. My wife has been to Origins on for the day, like a
day
Sunday
pass,
family day thing before. She loves playing board games. We play a lot of games in our house. She does not love the idea of just sitting at a table and playing board games all day. And I told her that's not what this is going to feel like. I said, we will play a lot of games, but we're also going to hang out and go get food and socialize and go watch Jacob do the trivia. Like, it was nice. I think she got the rhythm of that. And so this was her first time. We went down early. We got there Wednesday afternoon. Got to go downtown, eat at a great seafood place, which we'll talk about in a second. But just had a really good time together, being able to enjoy the con. And I think just about every night we were up till close to 3. So it was a full late night just about every night. And I saw you on the last night we were walking back at 2, Andrew, and you were we were closing shop, I think, at that point.
Yeah.
I could only hang with you guys till about 1:30, and then I was like, nope, there's nothing in me that wants to continue to stay up. So
fair.
my body will hate me more. So
yeah, that's fair.
But yeah,
our next question gets into the specifics of one of the things I love about conventions, and that's the food. I love having an opportunity to check out the regional food for places. I love going to Philly and getting all the Philly stuff. I love going out to Seattle for PAX West. And
Andrew didn't get this question. This was a late entry question. So Andrew, think on your feet with this one.
We talk about food a lot on this cast.
Yes,
so what was your standout meal or food item or drink or something that you were like, this was really cool, I'd love to check this place out again or get food from here?
Yeah, so I didn't really leave the hotel as often as you guys did, but we went to a really nice evening, let's just say imbibing session. I went to a local craft brew place, which I can't think of the name of right now. I'm blowing it here as far as that's go. But
is it Charlotte Beer Garden?
The Beer Garden. There you go. Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
They had some ridiculous, 300 different kinds of beers to choose from, and I had 2 spectacular beers. One was a barrel-aged barley wine, and of course, I can't tell you where it's from now, but that was really tasty. And then the other one was a fruited wheat beer that had mango, pineapple, and guava in it. That was excellent as well. So, and then we had fancy corn dogs to go with it, which was pretty fun.
What is it?
Fancy corn dogs went with that.
Oh, I like fancy corn. I like regular corn dogs.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I just love corn dogs. Yeah.
Corn dogs are amazing. So every time they get me, like Facebook knows me. First of all, they show me like pictures of people making hot wings and guinea pigs hanging out with their owners. Like that's all I ever get on my reels
Wow,
anymore.
that's oddly specific.
It really is. Like
You could
they
do much
know
worse
me.
than that combination, though. I mean, I
That's
feel like
true.
you could have
That's
a
true.
bad algorithm, and that's a good one. That's fine.
Yeah, no, I have a very good algorithm, but Sonic also knows me a lot because I get those very targeted ads anytime they have 99-cent corn dogs, and I get them everywhere. It's like, hey, it's
It's amazing.
99-cent corn dog day coming up in 3 days. You know what you want it, big boy. And I'm like, yeah, I do. So,
That's amazing.
so Isaac's fan club 4Y Games showed up.
How's
Thank
it
you
going,
for
guys?
supporting Isaac with your Isaac love. So
Hey, I'm happy to have it.
yeah. I really enjoyed Yame Noodles. Yame Noodles is in Charlotte. It's the only one. I thought it was a franchise, so I kept looking around for it in the past year. They are not a franchise. They are just a really great Asian fusion restaurant. My wife had pad thai. She really enjoyed the flavor of it. They make bubble tea. They had General Tso's chicken. I had a what was it? I can't remember the noodle dish that I had. We had it twice because we enjoyed it so much, and it's gonna be the place that I think about probably every week until I go back to Charlotte. So
Yeah, for 3 years, Yame is the place I'm like excited to get to.
100%, 100%.
And I knew you were going to pick that, so I went with a different choice.
You can share your love for it.
Well, we had lots of great food, and the first night we were there, we went with Becky and Jason on a Wednesday night, my wife and I, and found a seafood place in downtown called Sea Level. We Ubered over. Great seafood, higher end setup. I got shrimp and grits with like Creole, everything in it. It was amazing. It was so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Yame. Yeah, Yame was. We had like a dozen people there. We filled their little spot up. It was good.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for Y Games is Curvin over on TikTok. So if you get on TikTok much, he's got some good games coming in the near future. He has a little rolling right that I'm really excited about checking out.
Yeah.
So we'll be doing some content, I'm sure, on that once it comes out.
Absolutely. Curvin, welcome to the game chat.
But you said corn dogs. I had that K-Dog.
Yeah. The
K-Dog, Korean corn dog. That was really good too. So just a lot of unique.
That thing hung out for a while and then it got reheated. And
I brought it with me, and then hey, they had microwaves, so I microwaved it the next day. So it's a win.
Well, so check this out. So I don't think I told you, Andrew, about this. There was a sticker on the back side of our room key that told us some hours for some kind of lounge. Had no idea. And I'm a Marriott Bonvoy like person or whatever. Like we have their reward stuff. Well, we have this little sticker. Me and Aaron didn't even think about like asking more about it or like what that does. So I find out on Saturday that I'm allowed into this lounge area, which has free drinks, appetizers, hors d'oeuvres, like breakfast every morning, drinks and candy and coffee at all times of day. And we found out about like Saturday at like 2.
Like afternoon. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
And I was like, hold on. We've been here for 2.5 days and we could have had this. Oh man. Yeah,
which is weird because we have that same thing and they told us no, it was an extra cost, or like if you had the suite, you got it. So
I don't know.
You got to read your instruction manual. You got to read all your benefits. You got to see the package.
Just make sure they didn't charge you extra for it.
Yeah. I should probably look. Jason and I had lobster macrame and cheese. Ooh.
It was good. Okay. The lobster stuff was great. Susan, we went to another place that had like a bunch of storefronts, and that's where they got the lobster. Had a burrito. Bob, of course, he had his Greek food, which he loves to get, the little tapas and everything.
Yeah. That Greek food smelled good after Bob came back.
Oh yeah. Bob was smelling like garlic.
Oh yeah, I enjoyed it.
So I would consider this a small convention. When we talk about small conventions, right? If we say small, medium, large, and large is PAX Unplugged, Gen Con, Essen, even things like Origins you can lop in, right? If
Yeah,
there's
yeah,
20
yeah.
plus thousand people, it's
Mhm.
large. I would say if you start getting into the 10,000, your Dice Towers, or you're talking
Yep.
medium, this is
Yep.
small. So less than 2,000 people, I think,
Mhm.
total.
Yep.
Like, what is it that's appealing about a small convention like this? What do you look forward to much? What do you enjoy? What makes this stand out for you?
I think for me specifically, it's the people, right? Like,
Yeah.
I'm friends with people all throughout this industry at this point. I'm very blessed. I go a lot of these conventions. I'm able to meet and network with a bunch of people, but I don't really, when I'm going to the big ones, get to spend the time with them. I don't get to play more than one game. I don't get to have more than one meal. I don't get to just chat for
Mhm.
2 hours about everything and anything that's not board game related. Almost everything is business when I'm at the bigger ones. So for
That's
me,
true.
this one is more of a, unplug, unravel, kind of just be who I am with people that I want to meet as well. And I get access to people that I get time for. So like there are content creators that come to this that I would not ever get to have access to because they're too busy. And this one they're not as busy at. So I can sit down and play a game with blue peg, pink peg, or rolling dice and taking names, or
Yeah.
you guys. I actually get to hang out and do things with you guys, which I think that's a big plus for a small convention.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're exactly right. It's the ease of access to just sit down and have conversations. I think that when I look at Origins, I try to tell people, like, for Origins, that is that's partially work. A good chunk of it is work. Even though I get to hang out and see a bunch of people that I really love and respect in the industry, it's a lot of work. And so, and I'm always trying to make content and think about what content I need to bring, what kind of things I need to bring back, meetings that I need to hold and stuff like that. Whereas this is just, I get to really enjoy time with people and just like, oh, let me show you this game and we'll talk about some of the games we played
Oh yeah,
in a
we
little
will.
bit. But like, let me just show you this game that I found, and like, let's play for 30 minutes. And
Yeah.
it's like, oh, great. Oh, yeah, absolutely. I don't have to be anywhere. This is exactly what I want from a convention. So
For sure. Josh nailed it there. The big ones kind of wear you out, and by the end of the day, you're just exhausted. Like
Oh yeah.
Bob
Well,
and
to be
I
fair, I
felt
was exhausted the other day at this one too. It just happened to be 3 a.m. when I was exhausted.
yeah,
So
yeah,
that's fair.
well,
that
and
was kind of
working,
your own doing.
that's
Yes,
fair.
I
And
earned
working
it.
at Gen Con, I mean, Bob and I talked about this. Like, Gen Con is a work con. Like, if you're working at a booth or if you're there doing content or whatever it is you're doing, it's an
Yeah.
exhausting convention. And by
Yep.
the time dinner's over and you're done and it's like 9 o'clock at night, you're like, I have nothing left in the tank right now. Like,
Yeah.
and I have a job where I am like front facing with people all day. So I'm used to that interaction. Like, I can do 12 hours like that and still stay up another 5 or 6 hours tonight. But like, Bob isn't, right? Like, he's not around people and face running. So like, it's easy to get exhausted at those big shows. And when
Indeed.
you're at this type of size show, it's I think it's easier to just hang out, just
Yep.
play games, have fun. Like Becky said in there, everybody's just happy to just
Yeah.
hang out.
Yeah.
And it's easy to find people, right? Like, there was no point where I was like, oh man, I don't know if I'm gonna see Ryan again today. Hopefully I run into him. I'm like, I know where he's gonna be. He's gonna be in one of 3 places. I should be able to find him pretty easily. So it's fun, and it works like that pretty well for this convention. And honestly, like you said, getting to talk to people that sometimes when it's too big, like I had lots of great conversation with Will and Sarah that at a Gen Con, there's no way.
No.
Like, there's no way we get to just sit back and talk about our
Yeah,
families.
you see each other in passing.
Oh
So,
yeah, absolutely.
So Rick said, did anyone get a picture of Bob smiling? I did not.
I probably did.
There was
I
I have lots of random pictures of Isaac's body parts on my phone.
Excuse me, sir.
I got
Well,
2.
your
I need to check
elbow.
and see if he was smiling. Let me do that real quick.
Yeah, I don't have any of him smiling, but I did. So Isaac,
I gotta look at right there.
Oh, there we go.
Bob
There we go.
smiling with my wife and I.
There
There's
you
a
go.
smile.
Because your
Smile
wife
into
is
that
in the
beard.
picture, not because
Yes,
of you.
100%.
Yep. So I do have a lot of pictures. I got to go through my camera roll. I have a lot of pictures of your elbow and like the side of your face and your ear. We were sitting at different tables, and all of a sudden a text would come through, and it was like the side of my beard. And I'm like, nope, this is not going to be good. So we kept doing it back and forth. We're trying to like, how disrespectful of us to sit there playing a game with people and like be in our own little world. Like, yeah, that's the side of my face. Yep. So.
My elbow. Oh no, that's your face. My
no,
elbow.
There's your elbow. There we go.
Your foot.
My heel. Yep.
Excuse me, this is a family show. Thank you, Randy, on YouTube.
So yes. So let's
pointing that out. It is the family game chat. So things we look forward to, and I do want to throw this out there too. I love that TantrumCon thinks outside the box.
Yes.
Last year they had Kevin doing magic.
Yep.
And Grant doing the comedy shows.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
This year, Jacob's trivia thing. We were there every night. We had
was really good.
Amazing time with trivia. The last night he did content creator trivia, which was hilarious because our table had Bob and I, and Ryan Schoon's table had him, and somebody else from another channel was there too. So we were the only two tables I think that got anything right. But it was fun. There's one on our channel. There's one on One Board Family, rolling dice, taking names. They had named the other pegs in the blue peg, pink peg channel, and everybody picked colors. I don't know personally, and so I learned about all the different pegs that I had no idea about. So it's fun. It was cool. Fun to see that. And Jacob did a great job with the trivia, and I like that they think outside. They've got painting, they've got kids area, right? It's there's so many things. Even if you don't love gaming, you just go sit in Crokinole Alley for 2 hours.
Oh god,
Crokinole Alley was crazy. So
I mean, we did
competitive. Talk about that for a half second, by the way, because I was in Celebrity Crokinole, and we made it to the final game. And damn it, if Berkey didn't kill us on the last shot,
what?
So we lost in the finals in the last shot with Berkey. Man.
That's good.
That's good. Me and Rob Rouse were a team last year. We made it to the final and lost. This year, we made it to the final and lost as a team together. And next year, we're going to get this.
That's
good. Like the Buffalo Bills of the 90s right now.
Or now. Also,
the
Buffalo Bills now.
I was about to say, or now, or the Lions.
Now, because they didn't make it. They didn't make it to the Super Bowl. We got to the Super Bowl.
That's true.
We got to the final game.
Yeah.
We got to do the competitive puzzling, which was way harder than we thought it would be.
I've seen some competitive puzzling, and it's wild how fast they are.
It is. Like the group that finished in under an hour. Yes. And we were 2 hours in. We probably had more than half of it done, but like it was tough. The Bino tournament was great. You guys, One Board Family
tournament was so fun.
Bino tournament. I got just killed by two people who had just started playing that weekend.
You got mutilated on the Bino field. What happened, man?
The second game, it was like 3-4, but that first game, the lady's just like everyone. She's like, I've never played this. Goal. I'm like, I think you're a ringer.
Yeah. Well, no, that's the funny part. Almost nobody had played Bino before, but everybody, like half of those people in there were Crokinole players. They were we just came over from Crokinole Cove, and I'm like, what?
And the winner was a kid, right? The kid ended up taking
absolutely.
it. I love that. I absolutely love that.
Yeah. Shout out to Caleb Grady. Caleb Grady came. So he got to the top of he got to the final game in the winner's bracket, lost to this guy named Preston. Then he made it all the way through the loser's bracket, came back, and then came and beat Preston.
Oh wow!
I was like,
nice.
Yeah. No, that was wild. Like,
don't call it a
sticking
comeback.
with it and seeing the whole thing was real wild. Bino tournament was off the hook. I really loved it. They've already asked us to come back next year and do Bino again. So.
I love that. So cool.
Yeah.
Just one quick comment on the speed puzzling thing. Isn't that like speed Zen gardening? Like it for me, puzzling is meant to like be a relaxing, kind of soothing, like
not this one.
So you add speed to it, just feels a little out of the.
It's crazy.
Well, we were still, because my wife and I did it with Becky and Jason, and we still had a great time, and we had fun doing it. I never felt like I was trying to like run 5 miles as fast as I could, but I felt the pressure of like, oh, we got to do this. And yes, for puzzles, I do enjoy just the We have a 1,500 piece that's sitting on our dining room table, and my wife and I have been working on for about a week. So I
Nice.
like that, just doing a little bit at a time.
Yeah.
But I wanted to try it. I'd never done it, so just something different.
Yeah. Josh said Link beats me in Bino almost every time. That is true. Man,
Makes
that
sense.
is the great equalizer. Bino is a kid can whoop up on a
Doesn't care how old you are.
very skilled grandparent any day. It's like it's crazy.
Yeah, 100%.
Anyway, all right. So next question. Let's talk about over the next 11 months. We're a month into 2025. What publishers are you excited about in 2025?
To you, Andrew. We always start with our guest.
I cut out a little bit there. Sorry, you're talking about publishers?
Yeah. What publishers are we excited about their lineup, or what you think they're bringing in 2025?
All right. Well, I'll start with the obvious here. I'm looking forward to 25th Century because that's got my game on its list.
Yep.
But there's also a bunch of other ones I'm looking forward to. So like Big Sur by Mondo Davis is coming out. You got Vinyl Plates by Clarence. You got a bunch of other stuff that and they got their import collection, which I still don't even know what they got in the next import collection come out. I think their Kickstarter for this year's import collection is out already, but they're probably gonna do more for that. But every year they bring in all these stellar games that I've never heard of, and just they're in my wheelhouse of that mid-weight range and smaller boxes for the most part, and they just do some really nice things. So I would say they are my number one. After that, I really like what Devere does. I was just looking, where was it over here? Put it up real quick. They have a couple of ones coming out soon. From Gamma and also Spieleweiss. Where is it? There it is. Something called Red Carpet. Looks really cool. Hand management with multiple moving units.
Nice.
So that seems really interesting. Of course, it's movie themed. By the way, that's 2 movie themed games this year. When I was told by publishers, movie themed games do not sell. So I get to break out my new movie game prototype and maybe get back to work on that one. So yeah, I'm looking forward to what Devere does. Plus, I just love the compact of their designs. Like it's always really tight in the thought processes. Sometimes too tight, but really, I really like what they do.
Yeah.
The Op, I'm very curious now. So Life in Reterra did well last year, and they've gotten more of this hobby game thought process. I really want to see what a company of the Op size with the resources they have, and they're bringing in designers like Eric Lang and stuff like that. I want to see what the next step in that progression is. So I really want to see what else they've got coming out. Oh no, I was thinking Hasbro when I said the Op. Sorry, I was thinking Hasbro with Life in Reterra, right?
Yeah. Hasbro has done more with the hobby gaming lately, which is really interesting. It feels like they're taking note that hey, we have to cater to the hobby gamers on some level.
So I said the wrong name, but that's what I meant with the Hasbro with Eric Lang and Life in Reterra and stuff like that. But yeah, and then the Op, they killed it with Gnome Hollow, they killed it with Flip 7, they killed it with Stock Exchange. What do they got next? I really want to know. So that's what I'm looking forward to. And then the last one is 3WS, another company that just killed it recently.
That's
stuff like Charcuterie, and some other games like that. And my game Digging for Dinos is coming out next year by 3WS. Nice. So awesome. Right now I only have box art on BGG, but that's game number 2, and I'm excited to see what that turns into.
Nice. That's really cool. I think it's interesting. I'm really excited about 25th Century, of course. Intent to Kill. We actually have a copy of Intent to Kill that's in the import collection that's on Kickstarter right now. Intent to Kill looks just right up in my wheelhouse. Art style, style of game, all of that. I think the 2 publishers that have been knocking it out of the park recently, for me, Devere, I feel like 2023 was hit after hit after hit. 24 was good, but I feel like Devere's got a lot of good stuff coming. And then Bad Comet Games publishes 1 game a year, and their 1 game a year slow. It's both frustrating and very cool that they can produce something like Wondrous Creatures, and it went to Kickstarter. Yeah. People knew about it. It funded, did really well. And then after it's published, people are like, oh, what's this? And then for months, people are trying to get it because that's the type of game that Bad Comet is doing now.
Yeah.
Shallow Sea. I taught Shallow Sea, I think 3 times this weekend. It is a really good puzzle game, and I think it does what Cascadia and what Verdant and all of these other games do, but it does it better, you know?
Okay.
And so look out for Bad Comet Games. I'm really impressed with their work, and I'm looking forward to it. And last one, Eagle Griffin Games, House of Fido is coming out this year, which Rick is
Speakeasy
really
and House of
excited.
Fado. Yeah, absolutely.
Fado, yeah. Rick did more of the research. I'm actually interested in it because of reading up on what Rick is excited about. And then Speakeasy. Speakeasy for me is my top game of 2025. It has to be dethroned at this point.
Look at where it is, Ryan.
What now?
Look where Speakeasy is.
I'm not looking at my screen.
It's right here.
No, I don't. I can only hear you. I can't see
It's
you.
right here. You should come over and play it with me.
No, I can't see you. So, I have notes up on my screen. I'm not even looking at you.
Oh, Ryan.
Sorry.
So, yeah, that it?
Yeah, that's it. Sorry.
So Speakeasy, yeah, it's huge. I absolutely cannot wait for more people to get that in their hands. It is in my top half with Certas. I don't know that it's number 1 on Mars. Is going to be really hard to ever dethrone, but man, it's smooth as butter. Great game. I will also make our trifecta for 25th for all the things mentioned. Also for Sand Art, which I really enjoyed. For Bullseye, he has 3 amazing party games coming this year.
Yeah.
Bullseye, Red Letter, Yellow Letter, and oh shoot, what was the third party game? There's 3. Oh, Vanity Plates. And we played all of them, and they're all great. They're all ton of fun.
So bad at Vanity Plates. I'm not gonna lie. I am terrible at that game.
It's great. It was a ton of fun. I look forward to all those. I kept going over to take a video of Wine Cellar in the Play to Win, but it was never there because people were playing it, trying to win it. So, it's it's great to see that over there. It's great to see.
So that was the first time I got to see it played in the wild, where I wasn't part of the play and they didn't know it was me. I just walked up and watched them play and didn't say anything, and then walked away, and nobody knew it was me, but I got to watch them play, and it was just so much fun. So it's such a great moment.
Feeling. What a cool feeling! I'm sure I'll never forget teaching Green Team Wins to people when I was just obsessed with it, and having a guy come over and watching us and watching our big group at Origins, like 30 people, and it's like, do you want to play? He's like, no, I'm just watching. I just want to watch. And I kept looking at him like, I was like, Chad, this guy's like, do you know him? He just keeps like hovering and watching us. He's like, that's Nathan,
so good,
designer. I was like, oh my gosh. And then Nathan's become one of my favorite people in the industry.
He's a really nice guy too. I've met him several times.
He's amazing. He's absolutely amazing. But yeah, 25th is high on the list. R2I is coming out with Fromage Part 2. That is my most anticipated game period of 2025.
Okay.
Now, there are a lot of games that will come out that I'll be excited about, but as far as something I know about that I cannot wait to get a hold of.
I don't know that one. Fromage?
Well, it's the next game for the Fromage line. Okay. It's a standalone expansion, but the wedges will interact with each other to create all new experiences. Yeah. Have you not played Fromage yet? Right?
No, I have. I played it 4 times.
Oh, you have played it. So this is the next
4 times at Dice and Diversions. It's really awesome. Good.
This is the next step for that to give you more to choose from.
Okay. Yeah. I really like it.
The first game I played at TantrumCon this year, and we played it directly after a second time. So, yeah.
Yep. And I think how smooth that game works and how quickly it works, it's so good. So
the fine folks at Stonemaier who either make the greatest thing or the game that I play, Finspan, it's tremendous. Played it 3 times this weekend. Okay. I would play it again 100 times.
Erin really enjoyed it. She told me I need to play it. So
I ordered it immediately. Like I'm all, and we're going to talk about this too. I'm all interested in the fish. Yeah. I love it. I'm super excited about it. But there's a movement. Like the new Darwin's Journey is Oceania. Yeah. So they're doing another Darwin's Journey. It's going to be based off of everything he explores in the Pacific Islands and in the oceans. And
You see this disrespect that we get on the show? We just, three of us just touted
we just said so many nice things, Chad.
Chad Elkins' company, 25th Century Games. We talk all this great stuff about his company because, not going to lie, he publishes great games.
He
comes
does.
in here calling us a show with quotes.
I would probably describe us the same way.
Yeah, that's true. He's not wrong. I'm just saying it's disrespectful. So,
but yeah, those are
it's a punishment. I also agree with that.
Those are high on my list. And then the last one I wanted to mention, Zazu was demoing it out. I had a chance to play it with Will at Origins, and that is Layers from Kids Table Board.
Yes, Layers is so good.
It's tremendous. Absolutely tremendous 2-player game. Well, to recap for you, Chad, we all said how much everything we look forward to is from 25th this year. Party games, all of the wine-based games that 25th is coming out with. Is it more than one?
And let's throw out this. I'm looking over at my shelf, Grandpa Beck Games. Grandpa Beck Games has a new card game coming out, I think, first half of the year, and an expansion for one of our favorites.
I know, secrets, but very cool secrets.
Yes. So,
yeah, lots of good stuff for sure.
Yep. Great stuff.
So
let's, why don't we skip?
Yeah.
Do we want to skip that?
Just skip
let's skip that one. So Andrew, tell us a little about, we're going to get into our pick 5 games in just a minute, but Andrew, tell us a little about how you got into designing board games and how this kind of became a little more of a job than a hobby.
Well, so I was born into a board game family. I think my dad had 300 or 400 hobby board games by the time I was born. He's always been in it. In fact, if you guys ever heard about the Puffing Billy tournaments, conventions, my dad is a couple-time champion of those. He's a very serious train gamer. He's actually designed a couple of train games, none of which got to the fruition of being published, but not due to lack of trying. And so I've kind of completed the journey for him on a much lighter level. And maybe someday I'll create a train game on his behalf, maybe. But
that's awesome.
So based on that, I was kind of born into it, and you live your whole life not realizing that you're building a superpower, right? You don't realize how special that is until you don't have it, right? And so you go away from it and you go and do real life things that everybody else does, and then you miss it. You kind of jones for it. And then when you get back into it, you meet really great people and you're like, why did I not do this the whole time? And then a pandemic hits and you go, well, maybe I should start creating my own, because I have this crazy batch of knowledge going back 20 years that I can call upon. And I just have all these understandings of all these different mechanics and how they grow up and stuff like that. And so it just became a thing that I tried. And with the stress of the pandemic, my wife said, take some time, quit your job. Let's recalibrate, because I was really stressed out for being at risk every single day, and the job was no more fun. And I'm not going to get into all the details about that, but it took all the fun out of it. So it was not a job I wanted to do. And she's like, let's just recalibrate. You can get a job when the pandemic's over, but let's not, suffer through it. She said, but my caveat is you have to do something all day. You can't just sleep until noon and whatever. You have to be physically busy.
What was your job before the pandemic?
I worked as a cruise director for a super high-end skyrise.
Really? Okay.
So essentially, I was running game nights. I was running wine tastings. I was running
that's wild. Okay.
Field trips. I was having celebrities come and visit, do signings. I was doing, all the kind of event stuff that you do for a really luxury property. We're talking about $3 a square foot kind of property. And so that's pretty much what I was doing. And it sounds more glamorous than it was. It's a lot of organization. It's a lot of party planning. It's a lot of all that kind of stuff. But once the pandemic hit, all the fun stuff stopped. So you still had to do all the job, but you're not executing anything and getting the immediate gratification of executing the event and have people loving you for it. If anything, people hated me for doing all the protections and the security and making sure everyone stay safe.
Because you've got to have those guardrails and stuff.
Yeah. And nobody wants that when you live in a 300 square foot apartment.
Yeah, absolutely. Shout out to Darvell in the comments. Darvell is a friend of ours. Started coming around game nights, him and his family, and we actually Darvell came to his first board game convention this past January, just 2 weeks ago. I went to Dice and Diversions and
Nice.
had an amazing time. So, Darvell, thanks for coming with us and hanging with us all weekend. Yeah,
Is
so
this
learning new things
Josh?
about,
That's the Riddler.
so
Is this
okay,
your Josh? It must be. I assume.
must be. So
Must be
That's
your
Josh,
tabletop
yeah.
submarine,
yeah.
Josh. Okay.
So Andrew, you said you have multiple games in process
Yep.
this year. We obviously don't need you to disclose anything that you can't disclose,
Right.
but you're obviously excited about the games that you. What's a theme that you're excited about right now that you have hand in?
A theme that it has coming out next year.
Yeah.
Well, I'm a sucker for dinos. So,
Okay.
anything that has dinosaurs, and we'll talk about
Yeah.
more about dinosaurs later, by the way. I played a really great game at TantrumCon, but
Yeah.
dinos is one of those timeless classic themes that if you can pull it off right, it never misses.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Dinosaurs.
Love it.
Some good dinosaur themed board games are good. So very cool. Awesome. So let's get into the final 15 minutes of the show. I promised Andrew that this is a 1 hour show, even though we go hour and 10 most of the time.
You
But
go
tonight,
hour and 10.
you go an hour and 10. Tonight, is a 1 hour show. So thank you to Andrew's wife for letting us borrow him. So,
It's true.
yeah, it's true. It's true. It's like, hey, we got to notify our families and make sure we're good for this show. So this is Game Chat Presents Pick 5 games that we played at TantrumCon. I hear that noise, and that means that there is a graphic.
There's a picture.
Let's show the graphic, Isaac.
Go ahead.
Good Lord. Why do I let you do this?
That's Ryan. Taking it
Me with
easy
my
at
shoes
TantrumCon.
off. Yeah, man, I got my feet kicked up. I'm doing it. I'm enjoying myself at TantrumCon.
I kept it simple this time for you.
No, I like it. I like it. It shows that you did work today, unlike most Mondays.
How dare you, sir?
So
our pick 5 is not a top 5. It's not the best 5. It's not the only 5 you played. It's just 5 games in this case that you played at TantrumCon this year that you really enjoyed.
That's right. That's not the best Ryan picture taken this weekend. Let's hold down all that business because we all have pictures that we don't want to be put anywhere or sent to anybody. So,
but come back next time for those.
Yes, next week, pictures that we don't want seen. Okay, first one. We just go in a circle here. You're terrible.
It's coming.
Go in a circle. Andrew first. Andrew, you're going to go first. You're number 5. One of the games you played this weekend.
I think I need to steal some of your thunder here, Ryan, and throw out one you introduced me to, and then I turned around and introduced to like 5 other people after this.
Okay.
And that is House Disgraced by Shiny Pigeon
House.
Games. Disgraced House, right.
House. Yeah.
Got it wrong. But that one is really so much better, and it got better with multiple plays. When I played it the second time and the third time, it even got better after that. What makes this game? Should I talk about the game or just mention it?
Talk about
just give a quick little overview on it.
I have it. I have it in a bag right over here. I'm going to go grab it while you talk.
So what makes this interesting is that it's actually kind of a hybrid of climbing, shedding, and trick taking, right? Which is really interesting. Where the first player can lay out either 1 or 2 cards, and then the next player has to beat that, or the consequent is play their lowest card, and that hurts later on for a different reason. But there's no suits. But each card has a power that can be flipped to the opposite side if you use a resource. So it can turn from black to red, and the red is usually a higher value or sometimes a lower value that's more advantageous for you to play, right? So what you're trying to do is win tricks for the round, but then still have a good enough card at the end because there's a peace treaty at the end, and everybody plays the last card, and whoever has the highest card was too aggressive in the peace treaty, and doesn't get any end round points, but everybody else gets half of what the value of the last card play is. So if my last is a 4 and Ryan's is a 4 and then yours is a 6, you don't get any end ranking points, but we both get 2 for our 4s, right? So that could be worth taking 2 tricks, which is pretty impressive. Then the other thing that's really interesting about it is each character also gets 2 special powers to start the round, and they break the game in some way, and they're hidden. So nobody knows what power is until you pop it out and throw it out there on people. Just really,
you get an ally.
really smart game.
Yeah, you get an ally and an advisor, and the advisor is open for people to see. It could be a bidding mechanic. It could be a prediction mechanic. It could be just a straight up like you get extra tokens, but if you do this, you lose them. It's really good. This was on my list also, so I'll carry on. Disgraced House is an underrated trick-taking game that not enough people know about. You definitely need to check it out. I like that it's a suitless trick taker. There's that double-sided card is a really cool mechanic. And there's times when you're like, I've got to hold on to these fate tokens, which swap to the other side of the card. But I don't know how long I want to swap. I want to hold on to them. In the game with Andrew that I taught you, I was holding on to, I think, 5 fate tokens, and I used 4 of the 5 in one round. And I was like, I've got to blow through every one of these if I'm going to win anything. And I felt like it was the right time. But for the next 2 or 3 rounds, I was just like, man, I'm so broke and I have very little opportunity to change things. But it's really a great game. So if Samurai Cats are cool, I don't know that I don't know that I would pick this out of a lineup, but it is a great card game. So
fair. Yeah. My first one I kind of already mentioned, games looking forward to, but Finspan, the new one from Stonemaier, all the fish, all the wingspan, all smashed together into one. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Takes all the randomness of the what do you call it? The things that you use to pay for the birds, where I need a worm, or I need a berry. You've just got a couple things that you use for payment. Cards are a big resource. I loved it. We had a great time. I ordered it immediately. Look forward to getting it at my house.
Nice.
Number 2.
All right, what's your next one?
It had to be Fromage. I mean, really and truly, it was a great way to start, and played immediately after that. And I have to say, I was tempted a third time to play directly after that. Like, it was really that good. And I love this mechanic of worker placement with a time frame in which you get it back. I think that is incredibly smart. And we already talked about it a little bit, so I want to keep going on and on, but really, really good. In fact, I actually think it's a hindrance that the game plays too short, because I want to play that game more. I want to play it longer, and it ends too quickly for me. I'm hoping they put some sort of expansion together to turn it into an hour-long game so I can get a full gaming experience using that same process.
But I think that's part of the charm. Honestly, I think if Fromage was an hour long, I think I would like it less. I enjoy the strategy enough that playing it twice back to back, for me, it's kind of like the same reason why I don't watch a 2-hour movie, but I'll watch 2 hours worth of episodes of a TV show. Fromage hits that sweet spot of, it's around 30 minutes, give or take. If you have to teach somebody, it's around 30 minutes, everything's simultaneous. And so it's moving fast. And when you finish, it's like, it's already on the table. Let's just play it again. And I'd rather do that than play an hour-long game. I would normally
agree with you, but whenever you have player powers, I tend to forget I don't have the player powers from the first game into the second game.
That's true. That's true.
I feel
and it's in Fromage, the building up of your buildings and things like that to really get the full effect of some of the things on your player board. It does take longer. But I don't know. It's interesting. I like it because it's short. So
I like the rhythm of the game. It's smooth. It plays great on BGA. If you're looking for a good BGA game, it is.
Oh, I will be playing that now. Absolutely.
It is cutthroat at 2 players. The amount of stuff that is blocked off at 2 players is rough.
I didn't know my screen was going to show immediately, but
you just cut me off. Go ahead.
I'm just going to cut you off. Sorry. I have no clue how technology works. So my number 4 is Nico Syndicate. So Joe Chambers taught us this one. It's really, really interesting. This one is being imported by 25th Century Games, and you're building. I didn't get to finish my game because I had to go set up another game, but I really enjoyed it. You're making sushi, and for whatever is this an all cat game situation that I'm throwing out here?
So far,
Seems
Yep,
like it.
40%.
all cats, and I
40%.
don't even like cats.
Wow, that's rude.
Yep. Anyway, like sushi is like illegal or something. I don't know what the story is, but you're cats and you're making sushi, illegal underground sushi.
Sure.
And you're having to go, you almost build this like skill tree setup to run your operations. And the round is simultaneous for everybody. And then at the end of the round, everything resets and then you run it again. And it feels I don't know. It feels really good. And I don't know that I care about the theme at all, but I like this whole like skill tree setup, triggering all these things and going down branching paths. I really enjoy that. So I like that.
I heard
Excellent.
at least 5 separate groups of people talking about this game. And once again, another game I can get through 25th Century next year. I'm excited. Plus, I'm now a fan of Danny Garcia with Windmill Valley and Barcelona. I'm checking out everything else he's got at this point. He's doing a good job.
Yeah, my number 2, speaking of somebody you're a fan of, is Sashi and Sashi.
Yeah,
Before
Sashi and
the Guests
Sashi.
Arrive. It was a great little fun card game
So
of just
good.
laying down some cards, grabbing your hand, playing them out as fast as you can. It literally feels like the speed cleaning before people come to the house. Clean up stuff as fast as you can, because before you know it, they're here and the game's over. And it's got a good rhythm for a quick little card game.
Yep.
Ryan can't sit still for 2 hours. Oh, Ryan.
That's sad. I can. So Nico is like a 90-minute Euro crammed into about 30 minutes. It's true. There's a lot of decision making, a lot of planning and plotting and stuff like that. So, yeah. So I played bass for illegal underground sushi in high school. That's good. I like that. So, all right. So Andrew, number 3.
So this was a game that is going to be coming out soon. I didn't hear anything about it before, like 1 week before the convention. And that is Sauros by Tangerine Games. This is Mahjong tiles with a trick-taking game, and then it's tile laying on top of it. Did you guys hear anything about this?
I saw somebody playing it. I saw somebody playing it because I asked about the Mahjong tile part of it.
So
Yeah.
I actually know about it because somebody from Tangerine wrote me late last night, and they're sending me a copy. Brian over at Tangerine Games. So they're sending us a copy to cover. It looks really cool, and to have you behind it, you saying that you really enjoyed it, I'm excited about it.
So what makes this one really interesting to me is not only the chunky tiles and the tactile feel of it, but it's a trick-taking game that doesn't feel painful because you don't take everything. So when you play everybody plays one tile down. Whoever the highest tile is gets to take their tile they played plus one of the other players. But the other player who you took the tile of, they get the tile that was the trump for that round. So everybody gets one tile back. The winner gets 2. It sounds like it's better to get 2, but you only have so many spaces in front of you to fill. If you have too many, then it's overfilled and you lose points. So you automatically have to kind of pick and choose when you want to win, which I think is great. And then there are adjacency bonuses. So you want to get certain colored dinosaurs next to each other, but you don't want to get certain symbols next to each other. For instance, you want the claws to be in separate parts, but you want the bones to be next to the eggs, and some interesting, cool stuff with that. And then you add in things like T-Rexes, which automatically win, but have no bonuses, no association. But the T-Rexes are wild, so they can kind of work as a double actor. There's some really cool stuff going on with this game.
That's cool.
I cannot wait to get a chance to play it again.
That's awesome. I'm excited.
So.
Yeah, that's coming in next month, so I'm excited about seeing that one. So Foundations of Metropolis was a game that I was on most anticipated list for 2024, and you actually showed it to me. So Isaac, you taught it to me, and I really enjoyed it. I liked it. I don't know what I expected. I think I expected to like it more, but I'm very glad I played it. I don't know if I need to own it, but I do want to play it a couple more times.
It's
So
definitely, I mean, it's definitely the bones of Foundations of Rome, but
yeah,
it's
and that's what
not,
I
it's
think.
such a different feeling playing it with those cardboard pieces.
See, I never played Foundations of Rome, so that's why I'm hesitant. I think I would continue to. I think I would enjoy it if I had it. I just first play I was like, this is really good, but I didn't like it like I thought I would. So
Yeah, there's just something about the original when you see it, the way it builds, the
yeah,
city
it's
builds
pretty
up,
amazing
and it
looking.
looks
Yeah,
gorgeous. You get the rhythm of the game. You get Emerson's, like his. I mean, I love Emerson. He's such a cool dude. He creates
yeah,
great stuff, and you get that in that game. But man, it is
yeah,
stripped down.
yeah,
Yeah, I have no idea, Rick. I've asked that for the last 3 shows.
yeah. I don't feel like they deserve last names.
Oh,
So they can have them if they want. Oh, okay. So Isaac just
just
jumped
kidding. I'm
off,
here. No,
just
just kidding.
quit the show. Well, Andrew, you're my new co-host.
Fine.
That was
Wow,
a
we're
quickie.
trading hosts here.
Yeah. So,
Let's
all
get
right.
back to 25th century for my third one. Oh no, it's
Okay.
you. You're up. Are you up?
Andrew's
Am
up.
I up?
No,
Am I up?
are you up?
I think I'm up. You just went.
Yeah, I
So I
just
get
went.
Yeah,
distracted.
I think Isaac's
Yeah,
up.
Yeah,
you're up.
you did Foundations. My third one. Back to 25th century. I through a very long-winded process of poor Chad helping me get a hold of a copy Saturday night of Diatoms. We played Diatoms. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. My wife
Really?
absolutely loved it. I knew she would love it. It's her kind of rhythm of a game.
I want
Becky
to
and
play that.
Jason played it. They loved it. I was like, we had to get security to get it was a mess. But Chad, thank you for sticking it out. My wife was like, when are we getting this? I need to play this again.
I want to play that. That's
Yeah,
awesome.
it's the rhythm of it is smooth. It's gorgeous on the table. Can't wait to see the wooden bits. We played with the cardboard. He's got an upgraded wooden bit set in it too. Super exciting. Great production.
That's awesome.
It's going to be a hit this year.
Cool. We're 1 minute over time. Andrew, give me the last two, 4 and 5.
4 and 5.
4 and 5 together. Okay, so
Yes.
I'll do the first one. Overparked is probably impossible for anybody to get, so I don't feel like I should talk too much about that one. But that is a really great spatial puzzle with a drafting mechanic, which I think is brilliant. Which is you turn the wheel, and whatever you choose, everybody gets the equivalent on that wheel, whether they like it or not. Really, really brilliant. Lots of cool decision-making process there. I think that was really great. And then my last one is Tirnanog
Tirnanog's real good.
by Grand Gamers Guild. Another one where I really like the drafting mechanism where you're putting down your token between cards. And then in reverse order, you pick them back up. But if my card is touched 2, I only take one of the 2, and somebody else might take the one that's touching it as well. So you have to kind of prioritize which you're drafting and where. And then it's a spatial laying puzzle of putting it down to make sure the things score so that the right numbers in the right spots and some really cool things. And then also there's that area control bit of the colors, right? So you want to make sure you get your colors segmented together and the numbers have to match. Just a lot to think about. Really nice.
It is.
Those are my 4 and 5.
Yeah, that's awesome. Bob saying Overparked was favorite of the weekend. And then we've got a full list from Jason, Pick 5, Finspan, Gnome Hollow, Fishing, Everdale Duo, and Rebel Princess. All
Great choices.
fantastic picks. Let's go with Wondrous Creatures. I taught this one 2 times. I had people stopping by. I was trying to sell them on it. It's very easy to sell people on this. It is
It looks great.
Pokemon and worker placement, and it's beautiful. I'm so happy to own this game, and it's a game that every time Erin sits down and plays it, she's like, "I do love this game with all my heart." So it's funny because she'll forget, and then she's like, "It is an amazing game." And then my last one, number 5, was Cube Melt. Getting dicey. So Cube Melt was one that was brought over by Joe Chambers. It's in a little tiny cube, and you're rolling dice and you're screwing over the people to your right and the left of you, and you're an ice cube trying to find love and adventure before you melt away. It is
Aw.
ridiculously cute Adventure Time look and feel of the artwork. It's a little too tiny. I wish it was a little bigger, but I really love that one. So
Yeah, there's a lot. First off, Fishing was a great card game. Love
Great.
it. Super exciting. Can't wait to play it more. And yes, the little cube melt was adorable.
Yes.
Game designers overparked,
Yep.
and or game is, man, Daryl Chow is so high up on my list right
Yep.
now on designers. Cannot say how much I love his stuff.
Yep.
Bob, $60 for Overparked is how much I paid for it at PAX Unplugged, so that's a good deal.
Okay.
She had 35 before the guest arrived. Sashi and Sashi were selling those for like 25 at PAX, so you're not missing
Wow.
out on too much.
That's good.
Finally, real quick, comment on YouTube. You see it from Madison on there.
Let's see.
It did show up. Madison is a new friend I met when I went looking for diatoms, and I was like, where the heck is this game? It was in the play to win, couldn't find it. I'm walking
Yep.
around and I see a mom and her son with a box of Dice Masters
Yeah.
trying to figure out how to play it. And I just kind of froze in my tracks and I said,
Do it.
do you know how to play this game?
Yeah.
And they said, no, we're trying to figure it out. We're following the thing. And I said, let me take a minute and show you. And her son, he was awesome. He was about my son's age when we started playing, and I didn't go through this with her, but I mean that was our journey. Ethan and I
Yeah, yeah.
game. Our channel started from it all, and it just was such a joy. He made chaos decisions like my son used to, with what to roll and how to roll it, and just having fun. And that was probably one of my favorite TantrumCon moments, to take a minute.
That's so good.
From what I was planning on doing and saying like, oh man, you want to learn about this game? This game means so much to me. I'm
Yeah.
excited. And
Yeah.
for them, if they're still watching, Madison, if you shoot me a message, I can. If your son loves it, I have so much extra stuff. I will just mail you superheroes and dice. Send me a message and I'll send you something out to you.
That's really cool. Yep. That's one of the reasons why I love the board game community. Find the right people and you'll have an amazing friendship. So
Indeed.
Yeah, like these guys, like Chad.
yeah, that'll harass you every time they get around you. It's amazing. So did you mention your last two, Fishing and
yeah, Fishing and Cube Melt. Cube Melt Getting Dicey is the full name of that game.
So ridiculous. So ridiculous. So Madison said yes, he loves it.
Oh yeah, shoot me a message. We'll get a box.
That's awesome.
Of stuff to you.
That's so cool. Madison, thank you for watching us. We really appreciate you tuning in and hanging out with us. So thank you. That'll do it. Andrew, I'm going to give you your night back because we promised 1 hour, and we are really appreciative that you came on the show with us. So
thanks for the invitation. It's not really my probation officer that Chad was mentioning, but yeah, it's all right. I like being here. Thank you so much for inviting me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks so much, Andrew. And Isaac, have an excellent night, man. So
you as well.
Hopefully we'll get to play some more games in person at some point. Yeah. And that'll do it for tonight. Thanks, everybody. If you haven't already subscribed on whatever platform that you're on, be sure to subscribe, like this video, share it with your friends, get the word out. We appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Thanks, everybody.
Good night.